on to you crabs out here. So you have Epiphany, 6 of Michael, and then you have the 2 of Raphael. Yes, I'm using Archangel Arcana. Yes, and Tarot. Um, so Epiphany would be the Hermit, basically. So yeah, I can see it. This stuff is actually really easy, and I really appreciate it. They made it color coding. But it only took me about 1 or 2 days for me to figure it out. I love this stuff. Definitely going on the desk for me. But anyway, for you, right? Excuse me. For you crabs, there's a sense of you essentially chilling by yourself, being very solitary. The Hermit or the Epiphany is a very solitary individual. The Hermit decides to stick to the art and the skill and the science of what they love to do, and never mind about the politics and the dysfunction and the societal norms. This is for some of you crabs, right? Let's get into it. The 6 of Michael, the 2 of Raphael. For some of you crabs, I'm seeing how you crabs basically you either want to get into a relationship, what I'm about to say, like that, what I'm about to say, or you are getting into a relationship slowly, meaning that you're getting to know them. And what I mean by that is, you crabs, you don't want the typical type of relationship like we've been talking about. And for me, I'm going to start doing a better job at being able to decipher what are some of the good things as well as the bad things to look out for, right? Because I talk too much about the bad things, but I want to talk about the good things a lot more. What does it look like when an individual actually has common sense and they're doing right by you and they are a lion/lioness? And so you crabs are looking for a person that can actually give you that level of trust. That's the wind outside. That's not me. That's not a car. That is the wind outside. Yeah, it's cold. But anyway, this is New York though. Anyway. And so the thing is that for you, a lot of you crabs, again, you're seeing that, that kind of special kind of relationship may not necessarily be something that you may find. Now, I'm not saying that you won't find it. I'm saying that you crabs are beginning to understand that kind of interaction, you really do have to cherish that type of person, because we're living in a world of insincerity. And when you are sincere and you actually care about somebody else and you have things going on for yourself, you have to be very mindful not to essentially get taken advantage of yourself, because people will look to try to use you for whatever kind of agenda they may have for you, unfortunately. And the situation for you crabs is that so now it's this sense of you now have a better understanding of what it is that you want. Some of the good things to look out for on how it is that you can tell if a person really is valuable is, first and foremost, are they on the path towards becoming something? A lot of the times people talk too much about what they're gonna do, but are they currently on the path towards actually doing something now as we speak? That's one of the best ways to tell. Another good way to tell is if they is when you hang around them. Hold on a second. You okay? Okay. Had to make sure my family is good. But anyway, another way to tell is for you crabs to understand, right? Like, okay, on top of them actually having something that they're doing that is placing them in a direction or taking them in the direction that they want to go. Another good thing to look out for is their bill of honesty. Are they usually honest people? We don't talk about honesty enough, just telling lies. Stay away from people who have just a long history, a perpetually long history of just telling lies all the time. If a person likes to tell a whole lot of lies, a lot, they're just lying a lot, stay away from that. You know, if they tell the truth a lot, great. And so, like it is, as I said before, you have the perspective and the Knight of Raphael, right? The perspective and the Knight of Raphael. So you have to wait. Take your time, wait, and enjoy yourself, because what's happening here is that this is a good and the bad, in the sense that it's saying that you crabs because of the fact that you crabs are getting to know some people, you're headed in the right direction because you know what it is that you want, like I've been talking about. But what it's saying is you have to be patient. It takes time to get to know somebody, and that if you move too quickly, you will deliberately miss certain things, which can end up being not so good for you. And then you have the Knight of Raphael, which is for you to understand that you have to heal yourself as well, right? And part of healing is to have patience. Don't just be ripping and running around with a knucklehead, and all it is that they want to do, right, is they just want things to be super fast. Slow it down a little bit, because, and what I mean when I say slow down, I mean it's not necessarily a full-blown relationship right now. Take your time and listen to what they have to say. Peep what they're saying. Because the situation for you is you crabs just want to make sure that you don't want to essentially make too big of a decision. That be part of the reason why a lot of times people end up in relationships with people who they're not compatible with. It's because they didn't even take the time to even really get to know who the person legitimately really is. They don't really take that kind of time. They don't. What they do is that they ignore all the issues, or a lot of it, and then they give it an excuse. They assign it an excuse. They go, okay, well, maybe this can change, maybe that could change. That be part of the problem, because there is a way to differentiate between, okay, this person has a human flaw, and okay, this person has to figure some things out. What's some of the ways to be able to differentiate? You know that a person has a human flaw when it's something small, something insignificant in the bigger scheme of things. But you know that a person has a huge issue and everything like that when it's completely unwarranted, and all of their worries is satisfied with dispelling the delusion, or dispelling the worries, I should say, and the truth has been displayed, and the person doesn't see it to be true, right? An example of this, my dear crabs, is like again, people's perspective of, like, myself, to use myself as an example. Doing what it is that I do with this tarot card and everything like that, these tarot cards, I meet a lot of people. So it's like, if I'm dating somebody, they have to understand that I meet a lot of people. Don't get jealous, because I meet a lot of people. But I'm dating you, right? And not only that too, but again, they don't be getting to know who I actually am, because I have the patience for it, but I don't have the time to be trying to get to know two or more individuals, in a sense of taking 2 or more individuals seriously and dating them and courting them. I don't have the time for all that. I don't have the time for it. I don't have the tolerance for that. I have the patience for it, but I don't have the tolerance for it. I don't want 2 or more individuals. I really only want one. And see, but again, it's this idea, oh, you're a player. And it's like, the reality of the situation, it doesn't match people's delusion and the narratives that people throw out there. And that's the thing. Like, you want to make sure that the narrative of what you're seeing, right, is the same as what's actually happening. Because you crabs are a little bit lost with that a little bit. Then you have the Wheel of Fortune. All right already. You have the Wheel of Fortune, the Sun, and the Four of Ariel. And these 3 cards, right, speaks about how, because what's happening with you, right, is that, like I said before, you need a little bit of help understanding who actually is out here, as far as how to be able to decipher who actually has your back and who's honest versus people who are not, right? The walk away game is good. Some of the best that I've ever seen, better than me. It's just that you crabs may need a little bit of help of knowing how to get out of your own way in a couple of ways. Number one, crabs, sometimes crabs, I'm sorry to say this, but you can be guarded, even to the point of it shouldn't be that way. It's really difficult to get to know you crabs. And truth be told, if it's too difficult to get to know you, that can really hinder or stunt the growth of said relationships. That's number one. And number two is, if you need help understanding people a little bit better, again, you have to be able to come out of your shell to actually get hurt a little. I'm not even gonna lie, get hurt a little bit and experience some things, because it's necessary for you to actually be able to understand who is who out here, right? Before you start making decisions, because then you have the Four of Gabriel and the Eight of Gabriel, right? So, because you're rushing it too quickly. Not because Four of Gabriel, you want marriage, and there's nothing wrong with that, or like a committed relationship, and there's nothing wrong with that. But the thing about you is, again, the Eight of Gabriel is basically saying how you can have those things. You can have those things, but you need to be able to earn those things. Because again, you're dating, but you're still having a little bit of an issue being able to decipher. You're not going to be able to easily decipher if you're super guarded. It's not going to happen. Because what's going to happen, I'm going to tell you what will happen, or what does happen. What happens with you is, or what normally happens with you crabs, is that because sometimes you can be so caught up with shelling up and having to guard yourself, you're not paying attention, you're not observant, you're not paying attention to what's actually going on. So what's happening here is you could be in a situation where you don't necessarily even really see it coming. And that's the thing that could really mess you up. You don't see who the actual person is. And if you're going to be in said relationship, you have to legitimately really understand your partner. You really have to understand your significant other. You really do. You really legitimately do. You really do. Let's clarify the Eight of Gabriel. Six of Cups. Sorry about that. Three of Pentacles. Scorpio energy. Five of Cups. And then the Eight of Pentacles. Exes coming back. Love interest coming back. But again, this is a test from your higher self to see if you're actually going to fall for it again. You crabs are not going to fall for it again, because you will see that it's a test and you will move forward from it, because you're not going to go back to being comfortable again where, okay, you have problems with communication. You have problems with having that thicker skin. You don't have, see, this is what I'm saying. You don't develop thicker skin from guarding yourself. You develop thicker skin from actually experiencing what it is that you are afraid of or what you have a problem with, right? People ask me, people sometimes ask me, how is it that I just don't care? Why is it that I don't care about trolls? I had to let people troll me. That was the answer. I had to let people come to the comment section and talk trash and talk about how I'm boring, how I'm ugly, my teeth, which again, I'm planning on fixing sooner than you think. But anyway, talking about all this nonsense, talking about this, talking about that, talking about whatever, all of this trash. And I had to just allow it to happen. I had to let them goof on me a little bit. And then I started, when I started to stop guarding myself, and I really I gave it an extra second and I paid attention to it, right? And just really read it. I realized that the stuff that they talking about doesn't even make any sense. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the stuff that they be talking about makes no sense. And like, and now it got to a point where I realized, like, especially with the whole Elon Musk thing and the Twitter thing, and finding out that some of these people are like, some of these, like, these things is exactly what they told you in the Matrix. It's really like software and like bots and stuff like this, solicited bots that is just like going from web to web to just website to website to website, platform to platform to platform, just trolling. Like, I just got to a point where I don't even really care. And it's the same thing when it comes to you crabs. You got to get to a point. How you get to a point where you're able to decipher if a person has some serious issues and you should stay away from them because they have some things that they have to work out, or if they're ready for a relationship, is by not guarding yourself and observing. You're not going to win that way if you guard yourself. You're not going to win an MMA battle. You dig what I'm saying? By playing defense constantly. You win by being neutral, offensive and defensive. So that's pretty much it. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, share the video. Trying to get the YouTube channel to over 100K. Smash the subscribe button, smash the like button, hit the notification bell. Set the notification bell to all so you can be notified whenever I drop my videos.